What's up, guys? Panic here, those known as Panic Picnic, and today we are on patch 8.0! I know it's a little bit loud. I'll go ahead and change that volume really quick. And I'm going to go ahead and disable all my add-ons. I'll just re-enable them later. Let's go and hop on my main character, which is going to be my level 110 right here, which is my Paladin. Let's go ahead and see the first things. I've already loaded in just a little bit prior, so I at least know a little bit of what is going on. That being said, as you can see from my numbers right here, my HP is now 25,180, and my mana is only 4,000. This is a huge drop in my HP, and it's actually kind of shocking, at least for me. Now, that being said, I want to at least, let's just hop on in and we can pretty much do this together, and we can at least see what things have done. As you can see, I've already at least selected a bit of my talents right here. I didn't look up any guides. I haven't looked up anything at all. I just went ahead and we can at least see what's going on and why, I guess, why I picked them. As you can see right here, we've got Zeal, we have Righteous Verdict, and we have Execution Sentence. I went with a Righteous Verdict right here for the Templar's Verdict, increases the damage of your next Templar's Verdict by 15% for 6 seconds. If I remember correctly, this is a little bit of a difference for what we've seen from the previous one, which was, I believe, just a flat increase. The next one right here, we have Fires of Justice, Blade of Wrath, and Hammer of Wrath. This one's the passive. Art of War resets the cooldown of Blade of Justice 100% more often, increases its damage by 20%. I don't know what this does, but I actually really enjoyed Blade of Wrath. I'm actually not sure what Art of War just is yet, because like I said, this is the new pre-patch. I mean, this is for the new expansion, and we do get Hammer of Wrath. I'm really excited about this. Hammer of Wrath is one of the first. I remember this talent from back when I first started playing, so it's always nice to see things back. Level 45. These are going to be like your basic talents. Nothing right here is really new. Like nothing here actually has changed. I'm actually going to just go with Fist of Justice because it's always nice. For level 60, though, things have changed. We have Divine Judgment, we have Consecration, and we have Wake of Ashes. Divine Judgment, each enemy hit on an ability consumes holy power, increases the 20% of your next judgment by 20%, stacking up to 15 times. I mean, that's pretty good. I mean, that's the only reason I went with it. That I'm going to just do Consecration, because Consecration is, I love this ability. Consecration lands beneath you, causing a lot of holy damage over 6 seconds to enemies within the area. And it generates 1 holy power, so that actually might be what I'm going to pick, just because I love holy power generation. And last we have Wake of Ashes. This is pretty much going to be what our artifact talent was. I really liked this ability. I just wasn't a huge fan of its long cooldown, but it does generate 5 holy power, so that is nice. So like I said, you have a lot to choose from right here. I mean, I could choose Wake of Ashes, Consecration. It doesn't really matter. I'll choose Consecration. Ooh, what is this one? Oh, as you can see, we've got a. It's got a little bit different of an icon. Oh, I can't change it while it's on cooldown. It's actually a little bit different of an icon. It's no longer just showing the Ashbringer. That ability is gone. For 75, it looks like we have pretty much everything here that's pretty similar. With Cavalier, I actually went for Eye for an Eye just for the defense because I'm not sure if the stats are going to be completely squished for the enemy. And we have Selfless Healer. Like I said, I'm just picking randomly just to see how things are. And at least on level 100, though, I can say we've got the last big one is we have Divine Purpose, Crusade, and Inquisition. I actually really like this. I'm actually going to go for choosing Inquisition, mainly just for the consistency and increasing by haste. Like I said, for raids, I think Crusade is always a good thing. But that being said, I just want to get into like the other things that this patch really offers. Especially like, because as you can see, I haven't checked out the PvP talents. I mean, I've checked them out just a little bit when, of course, we have the addition of War Mode, which is nice. Increasing quest rewards and experience by up to 10%, enabling PvP talents in the outdoor world. The only thing I'm not a huge fan of, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, is how we choose the PvP talents. I think it's a little bit messy. The only reason why I say that is, let's say we're going to choose, like, there's 3 passes of Gladiator's Medallion, Adaption, and Relentless. So I can choose whichever one I want, and for this case, I like the passive, so I'm either going to go with an Adaptation or Relentless. Also because it doesn't have a 2-minute long cooldown, so that's always good. I usually just choose whichever one. But the only thing I'm really not a huge fan of is, as you can see, like, I have, it looks like all of my PvP talents unlocked. But and I can choose all the ones that are in the same order. But it's a little bit messy to see when it is like this. It's a little hard to but that being said, you can just go ahead and choose whatever PvP talents you want. You're not locked into anything in particular, so I can just choose, like, I can choose Vengeance Aura, and then I can choose that one, and then I can just choose like that, see? But I still have all of them to pretty much choose from, so it doesn't really, I don't know, like, it doesn't really, it's a little bit messy, but it's still kind of cool. And this can only, the war mode part can only be turned on and off in Augermire, so like that's something I'm probably definitely going to go ahead to and definitely get done. That being said, this is pretty much at least a little bit what I can at least see of in Retribution Paladin. Also, the biggest thing that sucks is we lose the talents of the Ashbringer. We lose everything here. We have no concordance. Like, all your item level right here is, for me, is at least 208. But it's like I lose Rake, Ashes to Ashes, I lose my Might of the Templar, I lose Concordance, I lose all of this stuff right here. Now, one thing I am kind of curious about, and I'm actually going to check it right here, is my transmog. I want to be able to transmog for other classes, or to see if I can transmog back to the Ashbringer, or stuff like that. And we can see that it is not here. So the Ashbringer is a two-handed sword, but as you can see, it's not going to be in your item set just yet, at least from what I can tell. I mean, it's not an axe, obviously, and as you can see from my minor thing, it's pretty easy to find. I'm a little disappointed in this. I mean, I'm a little disappointed that I can't, like, transmog my thing to an Ashbringer just yet. But like I said, I hope to be able to do this in patch, like when Battle for Azeroth really does launch. So just be mindful of that. That won't be there. For other specializations, as you can see, we have, let's look at Protection. This is one I love. Protection is actually one of my favorite classes. And let's see what we have. Well, that is gone. So let's go ahead and see. Oh wow, it looks like they did a whole lot of different things to it. I mean, like I said, the images at least look a little bit different. But this is pretty much what we have. We have Holy Shield, Redoubt, Blessed Hammer, First Avenger, Crusaders. We pretty much have everything, which is always really nice. Go ahead and always choose Fist of Justice. We have Holy Shield. Your block chance is increased by 15%. You're able to block spells, and your successful blocks deal damage. Holy damage to your attacker. We have Redoubt. Avenger Shield bounces to one additional target and increases your block by 75% for 8 seconds. We have Blessed Hammer. Throw the Blessed Hammer that spirals outward, dealing holy damage to enemies and weakening them and reducing the damage you take from the next auto attack by 12 seconds. I'm actually going to choose Redoubt because I like being Captain America. We have, for level 30, we have First Avenger. Avenger Shield now deals 50% increased damage to the first target hit. Grand Crusader has an additional 10% chance to recur. We have Crusader's Judgment. Judgment now has 2 charges. Grand Crusader now grants a charge of Judgment. It is always nice to have Judgment on your bar, so I mean that's at least my preemptive one. Immediately gains 3 charges of Shield of the Righteousness. The one thing I'm a little disappointed in, I mean at least so far I can tell, is I really liked the Infinity Hammers of the Righteousness. I just liked it. I really liked that ability. And I'm kind of disappointed that it's gone. And that's one thing I at least want to be at least like forward about. I really liked this ability, and it kind of sucks that it's back to the full-fledged charged one. I actually really like that ability. Now we have Retribution Hour. You and your allies within 60 yards are protected against aura that lashes out against any melee attackers, dealing slight bit of holy damage. Divine Steed now has 2 charges, and Blessing of Spell Warding blesses a party or raid member, granting immunity to magical damage. Can't be used on a target with forbearance. I'm going to do this, because it's always nice. We have Unbreakable Spirit for level 75, reduces the cooldown of your Divine Shield, Argent Defenders, and Land Hands. Final Stand. When you use Divine Shield, you'll also taunt all targets within 15 yards for 8 seconds, and Hand of the Protector calls down light to heal a friendly target. I actually like Hand of the Protector. It's really nice. That or Unbreakable Spirit, both are pretty good. But like I said, I like Hand of the Protector because I like it because it definitely gets a little bit of cooldown reduction. But like I said, which is all up to you. We have Judgment of, for our 90, we have Judgment of Light. Judgment now causes 25 successful attacks against the target to heal the attacker for a slight bit. We have Consecrated Ground. Your concentration is 15% larger. Okay. And enemies within it have 50% reduced movement speed. And we have Aegis of Light. Channels Aegis of Light that protects you and your allies standing within 10 yards behind you for 6 seconds, reducing all damage taken by 20%. I'm going to do Consecrated Ground because now it's so much bigger. I mean, it's only 50%. It's not too much. Now for level 100, we have Last Defender. Each enemy within 8 yards reduces the damage that you take and increases the damage that you deal by up to 3%. We have Righteous Protector. Shield of Righteous reduces the remaining cooldown of Light of the Protector and Avenging Wrath by 30 seconds. Ooh, that one's not bad. And we have Sephirim. I actually really like Sephirim. It's actually one of my favorite abilities, and I'm just going to just select it just preemptively. But like I said, we do have, like I said, we can go through the PvP talents, and we can just select whatever we want. Like I said, it doesn't really matter what you pick, because it's all going to be the same. Because, like, here's Sacred Duty here, and I could take Sacred Duty off and put it on something different. So that's one thing I really like about it, is that it's no longer just like pick and choose between 3 talents. You can just pick 3. You can pick 4 talents in total. But like I said, I am a little bit disappointed, and just this, it just looks really, really messy, and I'm just not a huge fan of it. Like I said, I'll go through my PvP talents later. But like, that's just the one thing I'm really disappointed in. Other than that, let's go ahead and at least look at the Holy Paladin. Let's see what we get. Like I said, I'm not a huge Holy Paladin. I don't do that. I mainly do Protection and Retribution, so it's going to be at least a little off. Like I said, Icy Veins is a really good source to choose for talents. They've already been updated for patch 8.0, which is what we're in right now. And as usual, click it. Oh, all of this is gone. So I hope, especially you, your Frost Knights, you had enough fun with your Syndragosas, but you lost them. That's the only downside. And that's one of the big things I'm going to miss. And for our... Oops. We have Crusader's Might. Crusader Strike reduces the cooldown of Holy Shock and Light of the Dawn by 1.5 seconds. We have Bestowed Faith. Begin mending the wounds of a friendly target, healing them for a large amount after 5 seconds. And we have Light's Hammer. Hurls a light infused hammer to the ground, dealing holy damage to nearby enemies and healing up to 6 allies for 216 every 2 seconds for 14 seconds. Not a bad ability, I just hate the fact it's a long cooldown. Unbreakable Spirit reduces the cooldown of your Divine Shield, Divine Protection, and Lay on Hands by 30 seconds. We have Divine Steed now has 2 charges, and increases the range of your heals and reach of Mastery Lightbringer by 50% for 10 seconds. Always choose Fist of Justice. It's just a good ability. I mean, I don't like any of these other ones, because it's just a lovely cooldown part. Now for our level 60, we have Devotion Aura. Damage dealt to allies within 10 yards is reduced by up to 10%, diminishing as more allies enter the aura. While Aura of Mastery is active, all affected allies gain 20% damage reduction. We have Aura of Sacrifice. While you're above 75% health, 10% of your damage taken by allies within 10 yards is redirected to you and reduced by half. While Aura of Mastery is active, 30% of damage is redirected and reduced by 75%. We have Restores 130. We have Restore a slight amount to 3 injured allies within 10 yards every 2 seconds. While Aura of Mastery is active, heals all allies in the aura, and healing is increased by 100%. Ooh. I wonder how to trigger some of these. I'm actually going to do with this one, though, because that's not bad. I mean, both of these are not bad. I'm going to do with that one, actually. We have Judgment of Light for our level 75. Judgment now causes the next 25 successful attacks against the target to heal for a small amount. We have Holy Prism. Fires a beam of light that strikes a clump of targets. If the beam is aimed at an enemy, it deals damage and radiates healing to 5 allies. And it pretty much just switched if it hits you. Or a target. We have Holy Avenger. Increases your haste by 30% and 20%, and your shock healing by 30% for 20 seconds. For our level 90, we have Sanctified Wrath, Avenging Crusader, and Awakening. With Avenging Wrath lasting 25% longer and reduces Holy Shock's cooldown by 50% for its... Ooh, that's not bad. Avenging Crusader replaces Avenging Wrath. You become the Ultimate Crusader of Light, increasing your Crusader Strike, Judgment, and Auto Attack damage. Crusader Strike and Judgment cooldown 30% faster and heal up to 3 injured allies for 250% damage they deal. And Awakening. Light of Dawn has a 50% chance to grant you Awakening Laugh for 10 seconds. I'm actually going to go with this one because that just sounds really cool. For level 100, we have Divine Purpose, Beacon of Faith, and Beacon of Virtue. Beacon of Divine Purpose is still pretty much the same. Casting Light or Dawn of Holy Shock has a 20% chance to not trigger that spell's cooldown and make the spell the next cast for free. We have Beacon of Faith. Mark a second target as a beacon, mimicking the effects of a beacon of light. Your heals now deal both to your beacons, but at 30% reduced effectiveness. And Beacon of Virtue. Apply a beacon of light to your targets, to a target and 300 allies within 30 yards for 8 seconds. I'm just gonna choose Beacon of Faith. Like I said, we do have the PvP talents. As you can see, it's all three is the exact same. We have Relentless, Adaptation, and Gladiator's Medallion. I'm just gonna use Relentless just because I can. And like I said, it's still the exact same. We have a whole, it's a little bit messy, but you can choose pretty much whatever you want because like all of this stuff will be activated in war mode. It's going to be activated in war mode that you need to go to your capital to activate. Let's go ahead and at least try to activate that. Let's go. One thing I'm really excited about this war mode is that we can use it while we quest. And also, people in World of Warcraft don't legitimately just attack everything on sight, which is really nice unless you are in a PvP server. And then I am sorry you have to deal with that, because that sounds like a pain. Let's see, but can I activate war mode? Oh! Hey.
For the Horde!
Okay, so there's no cooldown?
For the Horde!
I really like this because I like the fact that you can trigger it on and off. There's no real cooldown. So if you accidentally trigger it, there's no like a 5-minute cooldown for you to change it.
For the Horde! For the Horde!
I actually also really like the little addition that they added to it. I'm not sure if you guys can hear it so well, but when my character goes into war mode,
for the Horde!
So he just jumps up and goes like, for the Horde! Now I think that's really cool. I really like like I said, my biggest thing I really love on it is that there's no cooldown to activate war mode. You can just pretty much go ahead and activate it whenever you want. The one thing I am kind of concerned about with this stat switch, and like I said, I will run a ICC, I'll run an Ice Crown Citadel, is mainly because like our item, I mean like this one's item level is 194 because this is not my main spec. Switch to run. Switch to Retribution Paladin. Boop. The only thing I'm kind of worried about, and I will admit, is like this stat squish. Item on 208. Equipped it. How about 200? I thought that was 200. Let me check. Oh, that's because I've been disconnected. Well, that's pretty much going to be the end of this video at least. But make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. There's going to be a whole lot of videos and stuff that I have planned for at least World of Warcraft. I always make plans, but I mean, I'm human. I don't enact on a lot of them. I mean, I still want to finish up the StarCraft playthrough, especially since we just started and it is one of my favorite games. But as you can see, this is actually one of the coolest loading screens that I've actually ever seen in World of Warcraft. I love this little sword you've got right here. There's the little Augermeyer helm, there's the Augermeyer axe, there's a little human shield, probably a horde shield. There's the Alliance flag right here. The view right here is going to be the Horde flag. This is probably the Siege of Lordaeron, because when you do launch it, you're going to be seeing that cinematic that they played at BlizzCon. And you got a little bird swine. I really like this. I think this is really cool. It's getting into that little bit of a dark sense, and that's pretty much what I loved about World of Warcraft. Well, it wasn't like Warcraft. While Warcraft wasn't my favorite game growing up because I didn't really grow up with it, I grew up with StarCraft. I really like the return to form in terms of like a real-time strategy or return to like an actual storyline. And that being said, my name is Panic Picnic. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you boys and girls in the next video. Have a good one. Bye.